Oh man, are you ready for this?
You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins.
This is gonna be a match to remember. This battle is about to explode. Finest KO!
Hello everyone! So, today is the big day. Here we are for the first Blame It on the NETCODE tournament. I'm very excited. I'm also very stressed. I hope it's not as prominent in my voice. So, what I'm going to do is not waste any more of your time. And I'm joined today on commentary by Tamashi. How are you doing, Tamashi?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm looking forward to a wonderful round.
I sure am. I'm so excited, honestly. I've wanted to do an online tournament for a while now, like organize one. And I'm glad I'm starting with ARMS, because at least the good thing with ARMS is that we can create we can do a worldwide tournament. Because the netcode is actually pretty decent.
Absolutely, and obviously it's going to be a breath of fresh air for me. Obviously, I generally do a lot of the European stints, so to get the chance to see what the rest of the world have to offer is going to be pretty sweet.
Oh, apparently we have no sound from you. Wait a minute. How do I get the sound of Discord up on OBS?
Am I assigned to a desktop audio or no?
Well, I don't know. I have to check how do I set that up? Wait, give me a minute. We're going to fix that.
Please do.
I think it's a volume problem. It should be better now. Can you try and talk?
Absolutely. Hello, my wonderful friends. I am your girl, Tamashi Kanjo.
Okay, chat. Is this working now? This is...
Yeah, we're gonna see. Just a lot of waiting on the chat at this point.
Yeah. I mean, at least Paul is in the chat. Should be able to tell us.
Just a bit quieter than you. Okay. I mean, that's... I think we can work with that. I mean, if you need to turn the audio up any... Not much, but she's audible. Oh, no!
Yeah.
We'll
do audio balancing during the stream. It's no problem.
I mean, it just basically means I'm going to have to be twice as loud, 10 times as loud, 12 loud?
Well, the thing is, you're already at max, so I'm just going to go down in terms of my sound.
In which case, maybe if I boost my microphone up on my end, let's see if that works.
Yeah. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is close check-ins.
Okay.
And this way, we have processed the check-ins. We have 5 people in the tournament. So I think, yeah. There were a little bit of drop-off, also with my blunder from yesterday. It happens.
It's okay.
Yeah. Long story short, what happened is I had the wrong date set on the challenge. And by the way, thanks to Rachiv to actually telling me that. Only after the check-ins started, though, so I couldn't move the tournament over.
Oh no. That sucks.
Yeah, so I had to redo the entire page. It's okay. Things like that happen. It's a first. We're learning. It's a learning experience.
I mean, to be fair, the first tournament of any nature generally is a rocky start, so it'll get better from here.
Yeah. But the good news is we should be able to do all the winners on stream.
Yeah, we're pretty much doing round 1. Yeah, round 1, and then we go straight into semi-finals.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's do round 1 on stream. I'm going to call the players.
Yeah.
Winners round 1.
And would you look at that? Slacks must be real happy the fact that they get to have a bye. Because normally every time I see Slacks enter a tournament, he's always in the first round. So it's like, oh, Slacks gets a bye this time. That's nice.
Yeah. Did you join the lobby, by the way?
Is the lobby up now? Yes, it is. I'm joining you right now. Doop, doop, doop.
Yeah, at least the nice thing is that we can actually play all the winners on stream.
As in, actually, you know, the match is not us going up against the winners.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we'll do an exhibition at the end. Who knows?
If it's anything like the last exhibition that I was a part of, it will probably not go well.
I think both players have me in the friends list now. So, yeah, look, Paul is already complaining of fighting Tom in the first match.
Oh my gosh.
Good old Paul.
It wouldn't be a tournament if Slacks didn't complain about one thing. Having said that, whilst we are waiting for our players to ready up, check in, and also hop into the lobby, we'll give you a quick little rundown about how the tournament is going to be progressing. For those of you who generally see a lot of ARMS tournaments, it is going to be your usual standard double elimination affair, so don't worry, Slacks, if you do lose in your match against Tom, you got a second chance. From there on, we're going to use our usual strike ban system for the starter stages, which will involve Sparring Ring, Buster Beach, DNA Lab, Temple Grounds, and Mausoleum. The winner after that will be able to ban 2 stages from the list, including counter picks. There are 3 of them in this tournament.
Yeah,
Vital
I think it's free bans.
normal.
I'm correcting you here. I think it's 3 bans.
Oh, is it 3 bans? Is it? Ah,
Yeah.
that's the slight tweak. Okay, I see you. Okay,
It's
that's
just
fair
because
enough.
I wanted to add a counter pick, so I did 3 bans.
Ah, I see you. And to make up for the fact that you've got the 3rd counter pick, which, to be fair, it's nice to see Ribbon Rung on there. I think the last tournaments I cast, I think we had... Oh, what did we have? We had Scrapyard substituted out for Ninja College, which was a counter pick. So we get Ribbon Ring added to the fray this time round, which should be cool to see if anybody picks it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I did add the ribbon ring, but I did add the ban, so at least if you don't want to play on it, you don't have to play on it.
That is also fair. I also feel like you cater to Slacks as well, because I see the Gentleman's Clause rule up there. And for those of you who want to know what that is, basically, we can't just skip the banning. If both players agree to a stage, we're playing on that. I assume that's regardless of whether or not it's on the starters or not.
Yeah, you can do Snake Park Paramama Dittos if you want. Like,
Yeah, you heard it here first, people. This is your one and only chance to either get... Well, I say to have Snake Park. We know Slacks will have Snake Park. But this is your chance to get Sky Arena some more love. I want to see it. And if you decide to be really brave and go name redacted, first of all, what are you doing? And second of all, I will literally high-five you in the chat. I will just... Oh my gosh. Although I feel like between that and Snake Park probably will come up more just on the basis it Slacks.
we'll see about that. I mean, to be fair, we're here to have some fun. Like, the whole idea of Blame It on the Netcode is to have some more fun tournaments. Of course, like, we're doing a more standard thing right now because I wanted to first test the waters. But like afterwards, it's going to be the grand entrance of everything. To be fair,
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
To be fair, that does make sense.
And
And
spoiler alert, I think the next Blame It on the Netcode will be Samurai Showdown, but on the Switch.
ooh, that would be cool to see.
Yeah, it's going to be a good opportunity to actually show some players that we don't usually get to see in tournaments or just on stream. Since everyone plays on PS4.
Yeah, it's unfortunate like that. Boy, we would love crossplay.
Yeah, at least now we have Parsec to actually counter the fact that Samurai Showdown has bad netcode.
Well, I mean, that's just living up to the tournament's name at that point.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're ready to start, to be fair.
I think we're ready to start. We got both of our respective players in here. We got Rose, and we got Rose Power, and we've got Rachiv. Rachiv?
Yeah, I think they are both first timers, so.
Throwing yourselves into the deep end. I see. Well, best of luck to the pair of you. I'm going to assume that it is going to be best of threes. Yes, it is. It's best of threes up until finals.
Yeah, it's best of threes until top 4, basically.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I like having loser semis also be best of 5.
I mean, you know, we got the people. If they agree to it, then that's all good with us. So we're just waiting for our two respective players to decide where we are going to be starting ourselves off with. And obviously, if you are new to ARMS, we can pretty much explain the general mechanics as we go along, but it's not your usual fighter. We've got our wonderful springy arms. They can curve. There's so many different variants, both elements, and we've also got the different types of arms as well. And obviously, we've got a vast variety of characters who will all have their unique talents, their unique strengths and weaknesses. Or in Bite and Box cases, all weaknesses. I don't want to throw Bite and Bark under a bus, but the second you take the little doggo, which is Bark, out of the equation, Bite doesn't have any abilities, so it's like you are playing this game on hard mode if you are playing with Bite and Bark. I know a lot of people have tried to make them work, but it's very hard to do so when you've got all the other characters having some form of abilities, and especially Coil, who is currently at the height of her power at the moment. And then you've got Bite to Bark, who's basically, I got a little doggo that can make me jump higher and also throws out a random arm. I say a random arm, a toaster every now and then. And that's about it.
Okay, so the banning is ongoing. It's just not happening on Stream Arena, so you can check Arena 2 to see the banning if you need to. Yeah.
I see. Because I was expecting it to be in the Discord, but I guess I'm so used to things happening on Discord. It's just like, nope, it's not there.
Yeah, I mean it is on my Discord. It's just not on the EU Discord, for instance. But yeah, we are going to Buster Beach apparently.
Nice. Starting off
with...
in the sunshine.
Yeah. By the way, play Mario Sunshine. It's out on the Switch now.
I will be getting to that. I did do it like a year or so ago as part of like a really long, I think it was a 12-hour stream I did last year. Unfortunately, the video didn't save properly, so I've got to redo that playthrough. But that's okay because it just recently came out, so it gives me an excuse to do it. so I'm fine with that. But I've got to play 64 first.
Yeah.
Doing it in order.
I'm just really excited to play Sunshine in HD, to be fair.
Yeah, I've seen the gameplay footage already. It looks very good quality. And hey, I was talking about Coil. There she is.
Yeah, so Coil definitely the strongest character in the game. Like, I don't think she's as busted as people say, but yeah.
Yeah, you get the general idea, but it's okay. The Ninja's coming in with a set of Hydras, which Coil never likes to deal with.
Yeah, it's a good anti, yeah.
And straight in with the 1-2 punches as well. Just anytime the Hydra is able to get a little bit of a clip on Coil, the Berchuk is not too far behind to follow up. But having said that, Ratch has got a cooling arm of their own in the form of that Coolerang.
Might see some cool like freezing loops here.
Yeah, you definitely want to see both of these fighters try to get chains with them, especially against Coil, just on the basis of if the Hydra hits whilst charged, Coil is going to drop to the floor. Rose with a decent rush does get through the shield, but honestly does have advantage here. Ratch is being kept on the ground and is exactly what Ninja wants. Unfortunately, they are going to get taken out by the rush.
Yeah, they do land the rush, and it's more even. Like Rose is still in third quarter, so he's okay. And yeah,
nice little pick with the Hydra.
I think it was a chug, but I'm not sure.
Alright, so we're going to see what the decision from the pair of these are going to be now. It looks like Ratch is going to stick with the Coolerang. We're going to see... Oh wow, I haven't seen that arm in quite a while. The Revolver coming out, yeah. It's not often I see the three-pronged... unlike the bolts and the Hydras, it is a staggered release for those. But as long as one of them can hit, Ninjawa is going to feel the shock of it. It won't be as long as the others, but it's still a decent shock.
Yeah, it can be a good opportunity to actually follow up with a grab if you're not too far, which is still guaranteed damage. And here's the rush landing again.
Yeah, 330 I do believe that was. So Rose already down to the halfway mark, and it gets caught by the Coolerang as well. But a nice 1-2 combination keeps them alive in this, and a rush could still change this into their favor. We're going to have to keep an eye out for that Coolerang. The Hydra Berchuk combo is working so far, but now on the cusp of critical.
Yeah. And the rush for Rose now landing, which is really nice to see, which makes the match really even now.
Yeah, both in critical, but Ratch won't be too far away from getting their rush up to scratch as well. The Berchuk is going to connect not once but twice. Ratch goes for the rush, but unfortunately Ninja dodges to the side. Does get caught in the air, but they're on 1 HP.
It is so tense. And Rachiv takes it to round 3. That's what we like to see.
We absolutely do. So the first round is going to go to the final point. That was very close for Rose, almost swiping that right at the end, and even living on 1 HP, but the Coolerang did manage to curve around in the end, and a nice little shot from Ratch gives them the initiative. But again, Rose isn't afraid to just launch that Berchuk out, and obviously with 2 different ways of attacking, both on the ground and in the air, it keeps Coil on her toes.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I always find it interesting to see the newer players fighting it out, because obviously the strategies will be very different to more experienced players, just on the basis of the movement alone. And the rush, which gets completely cancelled out. Wow.
Yeah, that's a big move to do, especially against Coil as well, especially considering that the Ratch is in KO range from this as well. And the rush is going to come out. Ratch will shield it.
The shield doesn't break, but the grab will land.
The long range grab, I didn't think it would land in time, but it does, and the arm goes down, and that is going to be advantage. 1 HP now for Ratch, and there is the KO. And Verse will take the lead.
Honestly, this has been a pretty close game overall. I'm pretty impressed by just how even the 2 players are.
Yeah, they're very well balanced, it must be said. Coil just unfortunately getting a bit unfortunate towards the end of that 3rd point. The rush that got cancelled was really good movement from Ninja, and that's what you kind of have to remember that, like I said, each of these characters do have their own unique abilities. So with Ninjawa, they can basically teleport to either side. They also do that by default via blocking as well. If they get the shield up, they could just immediately rotate off to the side, which means that makes them that little bit harder to hit, especially with rushes as well, because you have to really kind of preempt where they're going to teleport off to. So it's a really good little play there from the Ninja to just hop onto the side and just get the cancel. It was a really good move.
Yeah. It's very important to actually snuff out that rush when against Coil, just because Coil just builds rush so fast with the 3rd arm.
Yeah, that wonderful 3rd arm ability. Basically, anytime Coil charges up, It's random which side it goes to, but basically you will get a second arm of that arm. So if you do decide to just run double toaster, I always make the joke of, well, I guess you're running triple toaster then, because the third arm will always be the toaster.
Yeah, I think Cole is one of the characters which most benefit from just having the same arm on both arms. Just because you always know what you're going to get as a third arm.
Yeah. It also means that Coil can potentially get very annoying if you don't know how to deal with set arms. Like, for example, if you are a character who is incredibly mobile and agile, like Ribbon Girl and Ninja and stuff like that, the one thing that you are gonna get very annoyed with quickly is if Coil brings anything like a bolt or a Hydra into it, because suddenly you're not just having to preempt where one set of horizontal bolts are going to go, you're going to have to preempt 2 sets of them, and it just gets annoying sometimes where every single time you go to move and suddenly it's like, there's a bolt in my way, what am I going to do about this? So it's
yeah,
you get the general idea.
So let's see.
Go on.
Yeah, let's see what which stage we're going to for the second game, as our players are still banning apparently.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, if it's generally when it's new players, when it comes to the ban system, it's like they're trying to remember how it goes, which is absolutely fine. And to be fair, there is an additional stage added to the list, so it's like it's balancing things out. But for a new player, it's like, okay, which of these stages do I actually like? And to be fair, you'll pick that up as you go along. It really comes down to when you first start playing a tournament, you're not really that bothered about which stage you go to, but the more you end up playing the game, the more you realize that certain stages benefit your character and playstyle more than others. For example, if you like to play incredibly aggressive and you don't want your opponent to be hiding against anything, you will ban stages like grounds or DNA labs because you don't want them to hide behind any kind of objects that would get in your way. Vice versa, if you want to be able to play around that and sort of like use curved arms to bait out your opponent, you would pick those sort of stages and maybe ban stages that are a bit more closed in, like Sparring Ring, for example. So it all comes down, it's a massive learning experience the further on you go into competitive scene.
Yeah, because like ARMS is one of these games which is easy to pick up but really hard to master, obviously, because you have all these intricacies. Obviously the basics of it are pretty simple because it's very neutral based, but with all these intricacies added on top of it, like stage selection, arms combination, it gets really hard really fast, but it's also a good learning experience in my opinion.
Absolutely. And obviously, even if you do get eliminated pretty early on, you could then still watch the rest of the tournament. And you can then you can see what other players are doing, and then you sort of learn from that. I mean, yes, a lot of people say that you learn as you fight yourself, but you also learn at the same time by watching what others do, especially on those who are A, on the same level as you, and B, those who are at the high level. I mean, it can be very intimidating watching what they do compared to what you're doing now, but you take bits from your playstyle and you learn to improve those respective sections first, because otherwise you don't know where to go.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also interesting to actually watch real good play, just because you can do all of what they're doing if you put in the effort, which is always very motivating.
Yeah, and it's why I always like to see new players coming in to tournaments. I think a few weeks back it must have been like 2 months back, we had a player called Alistair come into the Challenge Cup for the first time, and I think they made it to the top 3 on their first go-round, and we were just like, what? Where in the world did this person come from to be able to be up there already from quite an early on? And you always get pleasantly surprised when that kind of stuff happens. So, it's not, you can't guarantee that you'll end up being the next Alistair for that comparison, but with time, you can make it there. And we are going to dive into match number 2, and Sparring Ring is going to be the pick.
So as you said, a very close range stage, not really much room to hide, and it's also a very balanced stage in that the layout is just symmetrical. It's just a stage I usually really like, and I think a lot of players like just because it's so neutral.
Yeah, it is literally down to how you play here more than anything else. It is just straight up how you defend and how you move that will determine which way this fight will shift. And Ratch is starting to claw back that health deficit already, but still getting caught out by the slam every now and then, which Rose is just not afraid to fling on him, but unfortunately just a little too committed there, and is going to eat all of that rush from Coil.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but at the same time, Rosepower right now has the rush. Of course, he doesn't. He shouldn't like let Coil just build rush real quick. But he's going to have the rush for the next round, and he won the point, so that's really good.
Yeah, Slam managed to predict exactly where Coil was gonna be from that wake-up teleport, and yeah, absolutely convert it into their advantage, and just like that, Rose is a point away from winning the set by 2-0.
Yeah, but remember that Coil is also really good at comebacks just because she can build the rush and she can just fly. So it's not over yet.
Yeah, and gets a little bit of luck there as well. Got caught in the initial part of the rush, but then just got knocked back just a bit high enough so that they can get the shield up, and they will connect with their rush as well. Doesn't get the juggle for the rest, but 280 is still not bad.
Yeah, not the full rush here, but that also means Rosepower right now still has the advantage on rush, but it's going to be very close right now.
Certainly is. Another good little read from Ratch, just drifts on down to the left corner and just catches Ninja out with another set of the revolvers. But they're going to have to be careful here. Rose has rushed, and Ratch is already playing incredibly defensive, and we'll see if Rose will be able to take advantage of that. Although having said that, the Coolerang is still coming round and just clipping Ninja every now and then. They can't allow it to get carried away, and again just couldn't get the second juggle.
And that will grand the kill.
Yeah, that second juggle would have absolutely got them to KO, but unfortunately they hit the deck before that could happen, and the second Rose woke up, they used the rush and immediately KO'd Coil. That is a 2-0 set.
Yeah, but as I said, those were very close match, and I just like to see that, honestly, when the players are just on even grounds.
Yeah. That was really good from both players there. I mean, you always look back at tournaments and you see, oh, they won 2-0. That doesn't always tell you the whole story. I've said that a good number of times, but it is true because the first match was 2-1. It could have gone either way. That match was a 2-0, but again, had that second juggle actually connected, that would have been a very different match.
Yeah, because you're also not in the same mindset if you lose round 2, like if you let the victory escape like that, you're going to be much more stressed going into round 3 and then eventually into game 3. And mental does a lot, you know.
It absolutely does. And so yeah, with that being said, it is going to be Rose who will advance into what is going to be winners semi-final, because that is going to be top 4 from here. They will take on Slayer Pikmin, and we'll have Game Master Tom going up against for Fox Sake, and yes, that is indeed Slacks.
Yep.
And it means, so who will Ratch go up against down in the underground bracket? It will be the loser of 2, which is going to be Slacks versus Tom.
Yeah, so this
I had to lean forward to double check that because yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is Slacks and Tom is match 2.
Yeah, I will say it is very hard to handle all that on one screen, because I have to run the stream, the bracket, and the Discord on the same.
Yeah, that's yeah. My setup is a little bit easier to do that with. I've got 3 screens up. I've got the Discord to make sure nothing, if any last second announcements happen there and there. I've got the chat for the stream open. So hello everybody in chat. It's good to see you. I've got the bracket open, and I've got my own scoreboard edit so I can keep up to date with what the score is currently. So yeah, you're good. You're good. You're in safe hands.
Yeah, I'm glad to know that everyone is looking a little bit. We also have Junior in the Discord, just chilling in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, I thought Junior might either slide in as a player or just decide to just bounce in on comms, but I guess it's just me for today.
Yeah. I mean, I did consider, to be fair, to just do commentary slots, but like right now we don't have that many players, so it's okay.
That's fine. And it looks like we are going to start up with our first semi-final, and it will be our wonderful friend Slacks to go up against Game Master Tom.
Yeah. Obviously, I think like right now, Game Master Tom is the favorite. No offense to Slacks.
I was gonna say, don't tell that to Slacks. Don't tell that to Mr. Save Arms himself.
Yeah. By the way, if you haven't seen any Save Arms tournament, he's
that.
Yeah, fix that.
Alright, and we are going to be heading to Mausoleum for our first match between the two. I guess Slacks couldn't convince Tom to go anywhere else. So it is going to be Coil for Slacks, and it is Min Min for Tom.
Yeah, just give me a second to update the scoreboard.
No worries.
And there we go.
Yeah, Slacks coming in with the Roaster and the Ram, so a good old fire loadout for him. Tom meanwhile comes in with the Chakram and the Dragon, so at least one fiery arm on there, and one very big disc, especially now that it's got already charged up on the Perma Dragon arm on the left-hand side.
Yeah. And I think there's a little bit here of just regional lag, obviously, because Tom is in America and Paul is in Europe, and holy crap, are we going to see a perfect?
I believe the answer is yes. Min with an... Well, Slack said he was going to get destroyed in the chat. Please don't let it be two perfects in a row. That would be unfortunate. Slacks is going to come out with the Tri-Blast, so going to see if the horizontal bolt will help them here, but they keep jumping right back in to that charged up Chakram of Tom, and Tom is just not letting Slacks get in. Finally, he's going to rush though. There's not going to be a second perfect this time round.
Yeah, at least that's reassuring in a way. Like...
Yeah, Slacks obviously on the cusp of critical just from that rush alone. The Dragon does so much damage in its rush state. Slacks misses with the grab, and the Chakram is going to get another quick KO. And, well, Tom is going to lead this by 1-0, and it was, unfortunately, a very quick first point.
Yeah, like, I didn't expect the perfect, but I also expected the perfect, if that makes any sense.
Yesn't.
It's very weird.
It is incredibly weird. You would think that if... Now here's going to be the big question. For Tom, after a match like that, does he now humor Slacks and go to and decide to play ball with whatever Slacks comes out with stage-wise, or are we going to stick to the rules?
Yeah, I wonder. But at the same time, it's also very interesting. Like, Tom uses the default Min, and I think it's all very interesting to see how he can use default Min to its almost full potential, I would say.
I mean, once you a lot of people are like, oh, some default loadouts just aren't really great, but then you have characters who have either like a decent spread of arms, or they have like that one specific arm that is gonna do all of the heavy lifting. And for Min, when you've got the Ram on there, like, the second that gets buffed up, and it just becomes that much bigger, intimidating thing to deal with. Because obviously, A, it's a curved arm, and B, it being that big means that it's such a bigger hitbox to try and avoid. You lose track of it very quickly.
Okay, apparently they're sticking to the rules. And yeah, not only it's buff, obviously, but the mere fact that it can stun can lead to so many things afterwards. Which is insane, honestly. It's just a really good arm to have on Min, I think.
Yeah, and especially considering that alongside the Dragon as well, and the Dragon is it's an arm that I would really associate with. You generally play this arm when you're playing a ranged game here.
Yeah.
And coupled with the Chakram, basically it means that you've got 3 outs, essentially. You can hit, and if you're close enough, you can get the grab. If you're far enough away and you hit, you follow it with the Dragon, the laser is likely going to take them down. And the third one is, if you get the stun, you're likely going to get the rush as well. So you've got a lot of outs using that kind of combination. Slacks is going to swap into Lola, and we are going to see Ribbon Ring.
Yeah! I'm just glad to be able to see Ribbon Ring, because it's obviously going to be an interesting stage, because you can easily be hidden by by the different blocks which raise up. But
and Slacks is going to get a very good start, immediately using their wonderful bouncy nature, and got 2 explosions back to back. Tom finally is going to get a little bit of ground and gets the popper up to speed. It's one of the more quicker arms of the game, but it's also going to be easily punched through by everything that Slacks has, and the boxes do start. Obviously, Lola can just bounce off of them and just get even more height, and that explosion from the Seiki, never underestimate it. It can absolutely catch you out.
yeah, Seiki is a double-edged weapon, obviously, because it can still blow up in your face and then you're stunned. But the explosion hitbox is so big that you can easily clip someone in the air if you even just land on the foot of your opponents.
Yeah, it's a very high risk, high reward kind of weapon, and Slacks only needs one more poke, and the AoE explosion of both the nade and the Seiki would be able to wrestle this away, but this is Tom we're talking about. He's probably not going to want, and he gets the juggle into the KO!
He comes back!
Oh!
So unfortunate for Slacks.
Oh, yeah.
You hate to see it, but
yeah.
Like, we love to see it, but he hates to see it.
I mean, I would have loved to have seen Slacks take that point. All he needed was one more
and
touch, and the
rush.
rush isn't gonna come. Either the dragon stops him. He had so much momentum, and it's just gone.
Yeah, it hurts to watch. To be fair, it just hurts to watch when that kind of things happen.
Yeah, and the grab is gonna come out as well, and Tom's gonna want to try and just eke in a perfect here now, isn't he? You just get the feeling that that's what's coming.
Yeah, he sure is trying, and that's what he gets.
I hate the fact that that match went the way it did, because Slacks was this close to getting a point, and I was convinced he was finally going to do it. And just the juggle rush, that's what the popper does. Again, it's one of those loadouts where the popper, because it has the wind element, if it hits charge, it sends you into the air. If you have rush, it's practically a guarantee you're going to get that rush and just keep them in the air for additional damage. And yeah, Tom just turned that right on its head on 1 HP. And yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's part of the game, honestly. It's unfortunate, but it's part of the game, so you have to deal with it.
Yeah. If you have to deal with 3 fireballs and 3 lockjaws, then you're gonna have to deal with the wind ability. And with that, we are going to prepare ourselves for semi-final number 2, who will be the lucky one to go up against Game Master Tom. It will be between Slayer, Pikmin, and Rose Power.
But we've seen that match. It's Rose. It's just not reported yet.
What?
The
semi-final 1?
Like
semi-final 2 even?
Yeah, like the match between Rose and Achievement, nobody reported it, apparently.
Oh.
But we've seen it. We've seen how it played out.
No. I know we've seen that one. I meant who's going to fight Tom? Will it be Rose or Slayer? Because that's the next match we're doing.
Okay, yeah. I get you. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's alright. But yeah, it also means that the underground bracket will now officially start up as well, because Slacks will go up against Rachiv down in there as well once that gets started. There we go. So they could start their match. Obviously, that will remain as a best of 3 as well. And so too will this match.
Yeah, I'm just telling them that they can start the losers of round 1. So we can just
power on through.
Yeah. Because in all honesty, I want to see the losers round 2 on stream as well, if we can.
It feels like we're going to be able to do that. So
yeah,
it does make sense. I mean, there's 5 people in this tournament. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, it should be fine.
So we got Slayer in here now. So far in this tournament, we've seen a Coil, we've seen Ninjara, we've seen a Lola, and we've seen Min Min.
Yeah, good character diversity when you think about it.
Yeah.
Really representative of how you can make pretty much anyone in ARMS work.
Yeah, and hopefully we get to see a couple more here as well. Obviously, we know what Rose will likely be coming into the mix with, because obviously Ninjara has been their main one that we've seen them use here. For Slayer, we'll see if they decide to come out with anything different. I know, obviously, in America, obviously it's a heavy Coil presence that has started to bleed over into Europe a little bit, because we've had some of our top players I say going towards Coil, but we've also had a lot of people just trying to iron out ways of not allowing Coil to do what they do. It's just been like, okay, we know that this character is going to be a very big presence in the meta right now. We need to find a way of bringing him.
Yeah, we need to anticipate. That's the whole issue.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, on one hand, I get why people are getting annoyed by it. On the other hand, I just get to hear Donna laugh over and over and over again. I'm okay with this.
Okay, and it seems that we're going to go to Buster Beach.
Starting with the beach again. Okay, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh, just waiting for Rose to ping in and we'll be good to go. Let's see.
I also don't follow much the Japanese scene, but I don't think Coil is as much of a problem in Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I feel like that's correct, because I definitely, to be fair, I also follow different people as well. Like, I follow a lot of Mechanica players over in Japan, so, I definitely feel like it's a little different. But then again, it's the same when it comes to any kind of tournament where people are like, oh yeah, we use these in Japan. I'm just like, yeah, we just make do with this, or we're fine. But that's Japan for you. And Slayer's going to bring in Ribbon Girls. The first time seeing Ribbon for the day.
Yeah, as we said, lots of character diversity, and I love to see that. Just shows how everyone can be pretty much viable in the game.
Yeah.
Except maybe Bidenmark, let's be honest.
Poor Bidenmark.
Yeah. I like them too.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. But then again, at the same time, it's trying to find a way of, if you have a character that you want to stand by, and if it is Bidenmark, you need to find a way of being able to utilize that character, utilize their abilities, and make up for the weaknesses that they have with arms and strategic play. So with Slayer, for example, we've got Nade and we've got Scully. Yeah, this is an odd choice, and Scully, again, one of the quicker arms in the game, but it can be pretty much boxed down by anything. But against a character like Ninjara, if it's charged, the stutter can annoy you. The stutter can absolutely annoy you and throw you off.
Yeah, it can do a lot of chip damage, honestly. When you think about it. Just with the poison and everything, it can. It doesn't do much damage, but it does good chip damage.
Yeah. And obviously it can go up to 3 if you are unfortunate enough to let it stack that high. And Rose is just keeping Ribbon Girl grounded at the moment. Like, Ribbon is one of the more agile characters in this game to just double jump and side dash for as much times as she really wants to. It can feel like that sometimes anyway. But so far, Rose is keeping them relatively grounded, and the grab is definitely not going to help them. They're pretty much a punch away from going down here, and there it is. Hydra catches them.
Yeah, I'm impressed, honestly. Like, just a really good match from the Ninjara. And now both players have Rush, so the question is, who is going to press the button first?
And interesting that they both changed arms. They're both bringing out their own variants of slaps. We've got the windiest of slaps for Rose and the hottest of slaps for Slayer.
I really like slaps, honestly. It's just a very curvy arm, although maybe not as consistent, I'd say, as Chakram, for instance.
I mean, it also can be quite harder to hit with the rush as well, but even against the shield, it just rinses through the shield. So you can still make a play even if the shield is up, so...
Yeah, it does good shield damage, that's for sure. And right now Rose used his rush, and now he's building it up again really quick.
Yeah, Slayer hasn't blinked with their rush just yet, so it's allowed Rose to pretty much get away with not really doing as much damage with that rush as they'd like. But now, baits out, Rose goes for the second rush, but Slayer is going to grab them, and that's what I mean about the slap. It's a little bit harder to hit consistently with the rush, because you saw the Slayer hit initially and then just couldn't hit on the second go.
Yeah, the juggle just didn't work here. But it was a good punish, to be fair. It was a really good punish.
It absolutely was, and it does mean that Rose is one hit away from going down, and Slayer will book their ticket right back into this match, but they're going to have to be careful of their own here. 23 seconds on the clock, the Scully just unfortunately bounces off the platform. That's the last thing you need. But this is going to be incredible because they're both a hit away, and crucially, Ninjara has the rush, and is going to get the hit! Oh! I thought the Scully had found a way through, because obviously it's one of the quicker arms in the game, but like I said, it's one of the lightest arms in the game. It did get punched through by Ninjara. It is going to be a 2-0. Rose leads by 1 point on the set, but again, just like in the first match between Rose and Ratch, that still could have gone either way. It was just unfortunate. A couple of the arms just bounced off that low platform.
Yeah, the low platform did a lot more damage than the Scully in a way. It's just impressive, honestly. Like, the physics of arms just bouncing back on the platform can mess you up sometimes, and it's really silly.
Yeah, and it's not just the platforms that do it as well. I mean, we've got another counterpick stage, which is Scrapyard, and that is a very vertical stage. Like, it's got pretty much bits of everything incorporated into the stage. It's not as wide. You've got 2 pillars. You've got ramps up on either side with a good little high leverage platform, and your arms can and will just hit the ramp and not do anything. Like, you have to be so careful with how you punch on a stage like that. And when you have a character like Lollipop or like Ribbon or like Coil, and you go to Scrapyard, you're in for a very frustrated time, because they will likely go ahead and just take advantage of that high ground, especially Coil, who will just feel like they'll just stay in the air forever.
Yeah.
So, you get the general idea, and there is a stage that we are not playing on unless they somehow agree to it, which I doubt, which is Cinema Ducks, and that is pretty much universally banned just because of the cards.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I hate Cinema Ducks. I hate it even more when it just comes up on ranked.
The worst part is that I want to hate it more, but I can't, because I still like the music for it. Like, the ARMS soundtrack, to be fair, is pretty consistent throughout. Like, there are some tracks that I like more than others, but even on a stage that I don't like, I still like the theme of. It's like, oh, I'm on Cinema Ducks, but I like the music. It's basically my mentality.
It seems we're going to Via Dolce, and there's an interesting tidbit. Apparently, Rose Power is from Argentina.
Nice.
Yeah, not a region we see often.
No, not at all. And the fact that we're going to Via Dolce whilst I was talking about counterpicks, we'll take that. So that's our second counterpick stage for the day, because we had Ribbon Ring already. Now we're going to Via, and this is going to be Hot Pocket Central. You do not want to be in the 2 respective corners on this stage.
Yeah, you can get boxed out real quick in the corners if you do not know how to get out.
Yeah, we're gonna see Slayer come out with that slap again, but also gonna come out with a bit of a curveball here, a non-elemental glove. It's just flat out, it's a big glove. That's what it is.
Yeah, big buff incoming.
Sometimes it's all you need. Sometimes you just want that little bit of extra damage, but with Ninjara, they're coming in with the Birdchuck, which will rob Ribbon Girl of her abilities, and also the Hydra, which obviously is going to try and cancel out that aerial superiority. But so far, Slayer's got a call for it.
Yeah, Rush gets shielded, so that's good. We see Slayer much more confident than in the first game right now. Like, I think the counter pick is really working for him.
Yeah, absolutely working for them much better. Arm weak on the left-hand side, so needs to be a bit careful of the pressure that Rose is putting them under and trying to keep them in that square so they can't really dodge out. But notice that the slap can just go through the barriers like that, so you finally managed to take center stage again. But again, arm weak on the left-hand side, but it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna care. The slap does come around in the end.
Slap just coming through in the end, yeah. And I like the bird chuck here, honestly, to actually reduce Ribbon Girl's mobility.
Yeah, the ice element is always fun like that. And again, what is it with that left arm for Slayer? Every single time I look at Slayer's side, it's like, arm's weak on the left hand side.
Yeah. Well, there was an attempt here, but Ribbon Girl is just too nimble and just gets out of the rush for a little bit for free, and just lands the rush right after that.
Yeah, 180 as well, and it's a massive health lead that they have. Rose already in critical. Slayer has definitely found their call in here, especially on Via Dawson. Rose will probably not want to come back here anytime soon, but they're still landed a couple of hits, and they know they're going to have to do a lot of damage here to build this back up, because pretty much anything else from Slayer at this point will take them down, and there it is. The slap hit and the both KOs.
Well, that means we're going to game 3, which... It's nice to see Slayer got his rhythm going after a while, even through the Argentinian lag.
Well, it does mean that for the first time for this tournament, we are going to see match number 3. We've had 2-2-0 so far, so it's anyone's game here. We'll let you know what's happening in the underground bracket when we get the results soon. Because I don't know if Slack's match is still playing or if the match has finished yet. We will soon find out, but until then we are going to start chipping away and await match number 3. And obviously when you're Rose and you've taken that first match, you know, Buster Beat pretty much worked nicely for you. Then you go to Via Dulce and you know, it wasn't exactly one-sided. They were still relatively in there and getting a couple of hits in, but Slayer was definitely more consistent, and obviously with Ribbon Girl has that little bit more agility and awareness, especially when it comes to the rushes. What would you want to see Rose try and do here? What stage would you reckon that might work better with their playstyle here?
Well, I'm not sure, to be fair. Like, I think just Rose wants to stick to more, neutral stages. I think. There we go. We're getting Mausoleum apparently. So.
Ooh.
The trampoline in the middle should be interesting. Also, I need to remember I'm on Switch and A is B and B is A.
Oh my gosh, have you seen that controller design where someone just basically put the X of every different controller in a full circle?
I did see that. It was pretty funny.
I did like that one. That was a very good joke. Alright, so Mausoleum should cater to Ninja a little bit more, but having said that, Slayer won't mind this either, because, Ribbon can still bounce around quite happily on here, and it's going to come out with a double fiery loadout, the toaster and the hardest of slaps, and already the trampoline is, could be coming out soon.
Yeah, I think the firearm choice is pretty interesting here, just because, like, fire is going to knock out, to hard knock out Ninjaro much more when he's in the air, and so afterwards it's all a matter of reading where you will either take roll or whatever. Like playing on the hard knockouts.
And Ninja not going to take any damage from that rush, and that's what you like to see from Rose. I think Rose felt very boxed in Viadol, so they weren't really able to get the rhythm going of being able to at least outpace the opponent's rushes, where here on Mausoleum they had a bit more range at their disposal. They were able to just bounce away from it, but Slayer didn't go down to that rush either, and the trampoline is going to come out on the first match.
Yeah, it's definitely going to... I think it's going to slightly change the momentum, but both players have very good mobility and can work around the trampoline real nice, but Slayer still takes that round here.
Yeah, Ribbon gets the slap and just had a little party on the center of the trampoline. You like to see it. Rose is going to... we're going to see a little bit of a switch up. Bertrick will remain, but it goes to the other arm, and in comes the windiest of slaps that immediately catches Slayer off guard. And Rose is coming...
I don't know what to think, to be fair.
Yeah. Rose is coming in with a lot of confidence. I've only just realized that Slayer is coming in with the cracker instead of the popper, so it's a little bit more damage than the popper, but obviously doesn't really have the wind element anymore. So yeah, Slayer really is just going for all firepower and nothing else. Does manage to get the grab and sends Rose flying, and just about gets away with that. I thought Rose thought that they were able to catch him, but the bounce from Slayer just hadn't happened yet.
it's a very even game overall. Like right now, Slayer has the rush advantage and just lands it like that. Like,
yep, doesn't get the second juggle unfortunately, but Rose is very much in critical here.
Yeah, this is very big for Slayer, obviously, which is looking to secure that tournament, well, not that tournament point, that match point here. He really wants to win right now.
Yeah, just keeps getting caught out by the slam here, so needs to be careful, but the hottest of slaps is gonna get the KO in the end. And Slayer manages to turn it around, having gone down in the first match. They will come back to win the set by 2-1.
Yeah, that's what I like to see, honestly. Just comebacks for days. It makes for a very entertaining tournament overall, and just an entertaining viewing experience.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And to be fair, again, towards the end of that match, you felt like there was a couple of moments where it switched up a little bit more. Like Rose was definitely starting to chain in some of those hits. I mean, obviously switching to the slam was definitely the right answer. It was definitely picking up on Slayer a little bit more, but just Ribbon had that advantage quite early on and just did not want to give that away anytime soon. And when you start to get into a rhythm like that, especially with a character like Ribbon Gold, the second you know you can start just getting away with I was like, oh, they've got a rush. I know exactly when they're going to use it, and I'm a bounce, which is pretty much what happened throughout the majority of that match. And again, when it mattered the most, all they needed was one charged up hit, and they got it.
Okay, so right now I'm going to call for winners finals, so we can have losers semis right after.
Okie dokie. I am absolutely cool with that. So it does mean that it will be Slayer Pikmin staying with us to go up against Game Master Tom. And it is going to be winners final. So it does mean that for the first time today, we will have ourselves a best of 5.
Yep, and I'm very excited, honestly, with the best of 5. I think both players are pretty even in terms of level, so this should provide just good matches overall.
It absolutely should, and obviously we're going to see what each respective player is going to ban. I mean, we're probably thinking it's going to be Ribbon versus Min Min. But in terms of which way it's going to go, I mean, obviously we saw Tom dominate Slacks earlier, which was just unfortunate for Slacks, especially considering the fact the second match could have potentially gone a little further, but Tom made absolutely sure it didn't. Whereas Slayer had a very close set with Rose. So who do you favor? I mean, obviously you already said that Tom was one of the odds-on favorite coming in to this tournament. Do you reckon they'll maintain that?
Yeah, I think Tom just has a very strong presence. Pikmin Slayer I know less, obviously, so it's hard for me to tell specifically. But yeah, I think overall we're just going to have a very good match. I reckon the match will be pretty even, honestly, and it's all going to come down to who's landing the punches in the end.
Absolutely, and that consistency is always key on any tournament. And everybody has their good and bad days. I mean, we've seen it time and time again throughout all the Challenge Cups, let alone any other tournaments that generally takes precedence. That, you know, you'll have people who are on their A game, who are at the peak of what they are able to do in a game, and then a month or so later they might have like an off day, and people are like, "Oh, wonder what happened." It's like, it'd be like that sometimes. Like, I would literally remember months back when we had two of the best players in the tournament at the time, and were very high seeds in the tournament, and they both had a really bad day. One was Arena champion and Scrapstar, just got knocked out early on in Challenge Cup, and Iceman, who is, you know, they've won that cup so many times, also went out at roughly the same time. It was one of those really odd. That was one of those really odd days where it was just like, yeah, the top players can indeed have off days, and they're prone to making mistakes just as much as anyone else.
Yeah, remember, kids, people are not robots.
Absolutely. And for our first match, we're going to Mausoleum. Slayer coming in with the Scully and the hottest of slaps. And Tom is going to come in with pretty much the loadout you'd expect to see from them, Chakram and Dragon.
Yeah, I just think those are pretty much the expected loadouts at this point, but it's going to be very key for Slayer to actually snuff out the Dragon Charge here, because once the Chakram is charged, obviously, it can easily clip off the side of Ribbon Girl.
Yeah, and we've seen exactly what it could do to Coil, so you know for a fact it'll do exactly the same to Ribbon Girl as well, and so far it's still relatively even though Tom has had some of these pokes, Slayer has been able to top them down, but the rush is going to come out, and that dragon is always scary with the rush. 385 already.
Yeah, and right now Slayer is really on the back foot, and we'll see. I don't think he wants to bust out the rush right now and keep it for the next round just in case, but I could be wrong.
Well, you're not. You're not wrong. The Chakram does get charged up and does hit Ribbon square in the face. I mean, I say the face, it's most of her body at that point when it is that big. And Slayer is going to go for a very interesting decision. Double buff?
Yeah, like, it's just, you know, let's go vanilla, let's just do regular boxing at this point. But it's not working for him right now.
Yeah, it definitely is not working for them here. Tom is just dominating this matchup from here. And that is so much more damage. 365 already into critical. Both of the buffs are just about missing it. Tom wants to go for another perfect here.
Yeah, but he's not gonna get it.
The buff does find a way through, but again, it's just like they have to hope that it lands before the Chakram does, because if the Chakram hits, it's over. I mean, heck, the dragon even catches up, it's over.
Yeah, the Chakram pressure right now is just insane, honestly. It's like relentless. And the rush is not going to connect, but do just chip damage so that anything can kill right now. And Slayer is going to bust out the rush. Get the rush landing.
Tom is on the cusp of critical. How has this happened? Dragon just about missing. The buffs are the dragon finally comes through. That was well held from Pikmin. Brought Tom all the way down to almost critical. I think Tom must have just been like, why would you go down? Finally gets it. Oh, I love the fact that going into that point where we saw Tom have such a massive lead, we were just like, Tom must be feeling like they've got this in the bag, and then Slayer's just like, I will show you how I can actually land with these buffs, and that nearly worked. I was pleasantly surprised with that.
Yeah, like, as I said, I like to see comebacks, and obviously it didn't happen this time, but I was just pleased to see that Slayer had started to formulate an answer to Tom's relentless offense. It seems that we're going to Scrapyard next.
All three counter pigs on show. I will
We're seeing all the stages today.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. Shockingly, we haven't had DNA Lab and we haven't had Temple Grounds yet. I'm surprised we saw sparring rings. We saw sparring ring before Mausoleum. That never happened.
Yeah. I'm just amazed we haven't gone to Temple yet.
Oh my gosh. To be fair, it's nice to see Scrapyard. And like I said, this stage basically has bits of everything here. So we've got the two pillars in the middle. We've got all of that vertical. We've got the ramps on either side, and obviously the high platform as well. And obviously, even when the pillars are down, it's still not really that wide of a stage. It's still relatively closed in. But obviously, you saw Slayer thought about doing their wonderful jumping shenanigans up top, but decides not to do so for the time being. Tom coming in with that popper, not coming in with a curved arm, where Slayer is coming in, especially will help them around the pillars, but Tom wants to keep the high ground.
Yeah, I do think Slayer is right about the pick here, just because I think Ribbon Girl can really use the different elevations of Scrapyard, especially with the fast fall she has, to actually mix up her landings even more than she already does.
Yep, comes in with the rush, but Tom gets away with it. Shield up, so it's going to be chip and nothing more than that. And you just feel like the Slayer might even fall before Tom even uses the rush. Like Tom may just hold on to this because they're already doing so much damage. They just pretty much need one more hit here, and they'll likely take that. The Popper is going to miss on this occasion. We saw that Slayer were able to almost turn this around in the previous match. And with 30 seconds to go, they've got a lot of stuff to do. They might get some purchase on their rush as well, but Tom just can't seem to land this blow yet.
There's still time though, like. I was about to say 17 seconds isn't that small, but like obviously he got clipped here, so no more time.
Yeah, no more time.
If you're dead, you don't have time anymore.
No, you don't. And Ribbon is going to come out with double fire loadout again. It'll be the Toaster and the Hardest of Slabs. Tom thought they must have got the Popper up, but Savage Slayer just about hit them on the start. Does finally get the charge up now, and that Popper is just going to be an absolute hindrance to Ribbon Girl here.
Yeah. Like, I don't think I've ever seen, honestly, big Popper like that. It's a bit scary when you think about it, when you have this very small arm and it shoots 3 shots and it just comes at you like that with the biggest curve. And he gets the win confirm, holy crap.
Yep, needs one more punch to make it an actual finished sealed deal, but the Hot Slap is going to curve around at least Tom a little bit. They won't mind it too much, but the Dragon once again is going to get the finishing blow.
Yeah. And that means Tom is up 2-0 in this best of 5.
Yeah, one more point to book their ticket into Grand Final. And to answer Slacks, no, there has not been any Snake Parks or Name Redacted just yet. Nobody has gone for the Gentleman's Clause. I think Slayer Pikmin must have thought it's a best of 3 because they bounced. Don't worry, not the first time that's happened, and it will most certainly not be the last. But yeah, it is a best of 5. They'll have to come back.
Yeah. Wait, I'm going to ping them. So
Yeah, make sure to do a chase up. But yeah, it allows me to just quickly to talk. Yeah, nobody has done the clause yet. Nobody has done the agreement where if both parties are up for it, they can go to any stage in question. So you don't always have to stick to the stages, but unfortunately, Slacks, no one has done that yet. So we'll see if that changes. But as it stands, Tom is 2-0 up in winners final, and they are poised to book their ticket into Grand Final. Of that, there will be no doubt. Obviously, in the underground bracket, we can tell you that Slacks took out Rach by 2 points to 1, so that match did go the distance. And they will go up against Rose Power in what is essentially the underground semi-final.
Yeah, so right now we're just waiting. Oh, they're going Ribbon Ring now.
Sweet! Ribbon Girl on her home turf. Now that I like to see.
Yeah, and I really think Ribbon Girl can actually use Ribbon Ring really well. It's not like some characters in Smash Brothers where they have just stages where they don't work. Shoutouts to Ness. It's like Ribbon Ring is actually a good stage to take advantage of Ribbon Girl's own abilities.
Yeah, especially with the amount of boxes as well that do start coming up. It's like as an opponent, you will want those boxes gone ASAP. I mean, yes, a single punch will do it, but you just cannot allow them to just get stacked up. I like the fact that both are bringing in variants of the Popper. Tom with the windy Popper and Slayer with the Firecracker.
Yeah, party's on, party's on. Like, we've got Ribbon Ring in Winners Finals, party's on.
The party's truly on if we get Sky Arena and Redacted. but that's my own rules. That's my own rules. Hey, Slayer doing relatively okay to hang on here at the moment, and is starting to get a bit more confidence, you feel like, and we do have the heavy boxes coming in as well. They'll take a little bit more to take on through, so they can get a little bit frustrating, but so far Slayer is hanging with Tom here. I think they're both in KO range. It's more Slayer who's in KO range here, and Tom, I think, will try and keep the rush if they can, but they also know one too many knocks would put them in the same position. 30 seconds to go. Slayer needs to be careful here.
It's a lot more even than the previous matches, I feel like. I think Slayer is beginning to adapt to Tom's playstyle, and I think it's really starting to work out. And as I said, like, the Ribbon Ring pick is really good for him.
Wow, I was about to start singing a comeback song right there and then because Arm went down for Pikmin and somehow Tom didn't take advantage of it. Slayer actually got a punch through and then Tom immediately went, no, we're not having that, and immediately caught them in the air. So it's like, alright, fair enough.
Yeah, stop that.
But again, Slayer is just coming in with a lot more confidence and actually trying to just keep Min at bay and does get a little bit of fortune again, just knocked to the side, but not enough for the rush this time.
Going back to the double buff too, I just noticed. Which, I feel like Slayer really wants like just those quick punches in to get more damage right now. Because you might think, yeah, that's not gonna work. There.
Grab
will land.
Hey, it's not just the punch that has to make it before the shotgun does. The grab is the same, and oh, this time it's Tom who is going to deny Slayer. I've only just realized that Tom, actually no, never mind, has not changed anything. For a split second, it looked like he had double track, and I was like, that's not happening.
He doesn't have double track run.
Yeah, that's definitely not happening, and it is going to be a quick KO for Tom in the end. Pikmin staying with them to the very end, but it is going to be a straight up 3-0. Yeah. And Tom is in grand final.
Yeah, so we're gonna have Tom coming from the winner's side, and now we have to decide who's going to come from the loser's side. And for that, we have to play Rose versus Paul.
Rose to go up against Slack, so this is to guarantee themselves a place in the top 3. Ratch will officially, wow, I merged 2 words there, that didn't work, will officially finish in 5th place, so this will decide who makes it to the podium and who will just unfortunately miss out on this occasion. Remember, the winner will take on Pikmin in Underground Final. Rose and Slacks will be your competitors for the Underground Semi. Now, as much as we can ask and question about what Slacks and Rose are going to bring to the table for
I banned banning. Okay, that starts well.
What was that?
Paul bans banning. That starts well.
Good. I was literally about to make the joke of, will Slacks be able to convince Rose to go to a stage outside of the stage list? I was about to say that before you immediately sniped in with Slacks' banned banning. So my answer is yes, immediately. That's good to hear. Now can they convince Rose to go?
Yeah, I don't think they agree. I should probably show it on the...
It's like Slacks is one of those players who will always come into ARMS tournaments to have fun. Like, they want to get better, yes, but they primarily come into tournaments to just have a whale of a time. Yeah. If they can convince people to play on stages outside of the main list, they will do so, because they love to be able to do that. Yeah,
just showing real quick my screen right now, just so everyone understands. So that's happening right now.
Oh boy.
This is great. This is everything I wanted from my tournament.
It's almost like you haven't won ARMS tournaments before.
Oh gosh, Paul!
The worst part is that I don't have the actual stream window open. I've got the chat, but not the stream window, so I actually can't see what's going on stream here.
Right now, not much is going on stream because I cut it back, but... Oh gosh, we're going in!
Where are we going?
You've redacted our Sky Arena.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, just look at the stream. We're going there.
I am losing you rapidly here. Hold on. Calm your butt. Hold on a sec. Oh my gosh, right. Let me have a look at this. Yeah, because I don't have the stream arena on my Discord. Like, I don't have access to the stream arena, so that's why I'm not able to see any of this.
Oh right, I didn't give you the role. I shall fix that afterwards.
That's why I was just like, I can't see what's going on. Or why is there no stream arena?
Okay, so yeah, we're going Sky Arena, apparently.
Oh, heck yes.
We're doing that.
Alright then. So
that's...
thanks.
Yeah. The tournament just got a lot more interesting thanks to Paul.
This is why Slacks enters tournaments, to see if he can mix things up. That's what he's there for. He's the wild card. Slacks is always the wild card.
And he goes brass as well.
Just pure perfection. Enjoy the music. Enjoy everything about this, because it's gonna get silly.
Jokes aside, I did consider doing a weird arms tournament. Maybe later I'll do that, where you have your normal stages on the winner's bracket, and then you have your weird stages on loser's bracket.
Oh gosh, that would be funny. But right here and now, we've got Brass coming in with the Popper and the Chakram. Ninjara is going to go Burchuk and the windiest of slams. And Slacks is immediately just wanted to try and keep that center stage. And Rose is actually it's actually kind of fine just being on the outskirts. But then again, Ninjara is kind of okay with that. Does get the grab in and sneaks Slacks back into the corner.
Yeah, so again, obviously there's going to be a little bit of lag since Rose is in Argentina and Slacks is in the UK. But it's a really even match right now.
And then Slacks just immediately powers out with their rush. They are just underneath the halfway mark. And Rose going to come in with theirs now and sends Brass into critical. And this is where it gets intimidating.
Yeah, because remember, when Max Brass is in low HP, he's just permabuff. So with the armor and everything.
Yeah, and there's a lot hits just so much harder as well. And Slacks takes full advantage of that and knocks Ninjara down. Slacks takes the initiative, but Rose not that far behind at all. So you feel like Rose, if they can find a way of keeping Brass off center stage, they will take advantage of it.
Yeah, and just to answer the chat, yes, Argentina versus UK worked. It's not Samurai Showdown or Smash Brothers.
Yeah, would you believe that? And does get a chain in. Slacks just missing with the grab, but does follow up with the Chakram hit. And again, just Rose just biding the time in the corner. Does get caught by the Chakram and comes in with the rush and actually beats Slacks to it, but does get the shield up just in the nick of time to cancel the rest of it.
Yeah, he kind of fell off that rush here. I think the armor was there for something, honestly. And kind of increased his revenue. I don't know how it works exactly.
Well, Brass is gonna now buff on up, and big hugs all around. Grab is gonna send Rose back into the corner. Slacks is in critical, now so too is Rose, and you just feel like every single time Brass goes critical, especially when it's with Slacks, it just seems to convert into the win. It's why when you see a Brass player go down into critical, they're like, oh, I'm in crit. It's not the end of the world. I'm okay with this.
Yes.
And with that, Slacks will take the initial point.
Yeah. Now the real question is, where are we going for round 2?
Oh boy. What? I feel like convincing somebody to go to Sky Arena is absolutely fine, because it's essentially sparring ring but with an outskirt. Like I can see people agreeing to that because, you know, it's a relatively straightforward stage, and it works. It does work in the grand scheme of things. Like, if Ninjara can stop Brass from being on the center stage and keep it that way, it can be Ninjara's. But even when Ninjara was on the outskirts, they've got different ways of being able to just teleport around it. So, and they were making it work for the most part. Just Brass is very scary when he hits critical. Convincing someone to do name redacted, I feel like would be a lot harder, just on the basis of it's a small stage, and it's got a conveyor belt, we've got moving obstacles,
and yet it's happening.
Are you kidding me?
Never underestimate Paul Slacks.
Are you actually serious? Are we seriously going redacted?
We sure are going redacted.
Strap yourselves in, everybody. Oh my gosh. Well, Donna's going to be happy, and I know she isn't watching, but she would absolutely love to see this. Her Errant stage is coming out.
Also, let me
Name redacted. No coil in sight, though. It is going to be Springman to go up against Ninjara this time.
Yeah. So yeah, Slack's switching to Springman. We have the Thunderbird right now on deck. We'll see if he keeps that. But
Nope, we're gonna see the hard. No, we're gonna see the clapback coming out.
Yeah.
Gosh, so if you thought these tubes were gonna be annoying, now you've got the clapback to deal with. So
Yeah. It's just a permanent wall at this point. If
really
Slack
is.
just plays well.
So basically, for Rose to get away, and unfortunately gets caught by the Thunderbird, but they do get a grab of their own, which is absolutely crucial. So yeah, conveyor belt, depending on which way you're going, will take you either away or into the action. The tubes, obviously, they've got they come in thick and fast, it must be said. And now you've got Slacks with the clapback as well, which will send your arms back to you. Which, let's face it, is the last thing you want, especially if you're grabbing the Hydra or the Birdchuck. So Ninjara has to get into a decent position to be able to get around that.
Yeah, like I think the conveyor belt will be the most interesting. Like Rush can break the tubes, but like obviously right now it didn't work, and he's just getting punished for that missed rush. And things are happening really fast on that stage.
Yeah, it certainly is. So yeah, Rose basically unfortunately not hit with the rush. Slacks got to the highest peak of the jump and unloaded theirs, and the clapback did manage to hit Rose before anything else could happen. The Thunderbird gets the shock as well, and the grab is gonna KO.
So now the real question is, what are we going to see on game 2, on round 2 now?
Well,
I don't know if they're going to change their loadouts right now.
Well, I don't see Ninjara changing. Birdchuck and Hydra is a combination that they need to be able to utilize, and yeah, Slacks is going to just keep the clapback and somehow get a starting grab.
Yeah, I do think that Birdchuck is really good to actually get around the clapback, but obviously with the redacted tubes, it's going to be much harder to do than in a regular match.
Absolutely. And like I said, it is. When I said it was a small stage, I wasn't joking. It really be a small stage. As you can see, that the pair of them could just go up to each other so quickly, and a really good cancel there from Slacks. Ninjara thought they could get it on the jump, but Slacks gets it anyway. Another grab sends them very close to them as well. This is KO range if the rush can land, but Slacks is just trying to box Ninjara in, and they almost get away with it. Actually, they do. They took the initial punch and actually break the arm of the left-hand side. Can't capitalize on it, though.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And now Rose is in critical, and Paul is in a really good spot right now. Again, the clapback just making real good use of the stage right now. And you said it too, like, Redacted is a very small stage. I feel like it's almost smaller than even Sparring Ring in terms of width. But I could be mistaken about that. It just feels like that sometimes.
Good grab there from Rose. Keeps themselves in this match. They do have rush to go as well. You feel like they probably won't try to use it unless they can get Slack a little closer to KO. Although time is running out. They're not going to get anything. They do actually get a little bit of damage. 10 seconds on the clock. It's 150. They need one more hit to take this away from Slacks, who has the health lead. They don't have much available. Rose has to commit to this fight here and now. 1 second. No, time is up. It goes to Slacks.
So unfortunate, honestly. Like, it was so close too. But hey, the game's the game. Like, we know that arms often goes to timeout, honestly.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. I think Rose realized too late that they needed to commit there because they had to do all the work, and that's why Slacks was just happy to be in that corner, far away from Rose, because it's like, well, I've got 10 seconds left on the clock. I have a slight health lead. I'm going to let Rose come to me. And unfortunately, Rose just took a little too long realizing that.
Yeah, plus, let's not forget that Springman has parries on deck. So that really helps its defense. It's weird.
Yeah, the clapback is... It's a tricky one to play against, especially when you've got moving obstacles in there. It's like Slacks very much picked the clapback with Redacted in mind. It was definitely a strategic play there.
Yeah.
And with that, it means that Rose will finish in 4th place, and Slacks moves into top 3.
It's best of 5.
Oh, we are doing best of 5.
Yeah, it's winner semis. We do best of 5.
Oh, I thought it was just
semis.
Right, it's because on the thing it said just winners final, losers finals, and grands. Unless you've just added that in now.
Yeah, no, okay, I forgot. I was convinced I put it on best of 5.
No,
Like,
it does say winners final, losers final, and grand finals are played in a best of 5. Nothing about underground semi.
Yeah, then we'll stick to best of 3 in that case. I'm not. Oh, okay. Apparently they want to rerun that because there was a lot of lag.
We're redoing redacted.
I think we're doing the run back on redacted. Just game 2 doesn't count. We're doing the run back on redacted.
Cool. Absolutely cool. So Slacks has a 1-point lead. It's going to be Springman versus the Jar. They're not going to switch arms. I do believe they are going to keep their respective arms. Obviously, there are some discrepancies in terms of the lag, but both have agreed to replay match number 2. Rose is going to come in with double bird chucks to start ourselves off with, and immediately gets shocked by the Thunderbird of Slacks.
Yeah, like Thunderbird honestly has a good shock timer, which just lets you get away with a lot afterwards in terms of just how to put it, getting away with it and getting a confirm out of it.
Yeah.
So,
also notice the fact that when Slacks got chilled just a little bit earlier, they were just like, oh, I'm behind this tube. Well, Rose can't get to me from here, so I'm just going to wait it out. And another Thunderbird chuck just about cancelled by Rose.
So I don't know if the lag is better. Obviously, like, this is regional lag. We can't do much about it. But, you know, blame it on the netcode, I guess.
Yes. Roll credits, people. And Slacks is just a punch away from going down, so in either case, Rose has found a way to get around Slacks, and the Birchuk is going to land. And Rose is going to take the initiative in this replay.
Yeah, we're seeing quite a different game, honestly. Like, you can see, obviously, Rose has kind of adapted to Slack's playstyle from having that extra laggy second game, but...
And Slacks is living up to their slap-happy nature. It's the hottest of slaps on both arms. And to be fair, lands the rush immediately, 360.
Good rush, like, right now Rose is in disadvantage, but it's close to having rush, which means they could easily come back, but we'll see, obviously. It's going to be really hard, though, right now, I feel like.
It's going to be incredibly difficult. Slacks has such a massive health lead, and whilst Rose does have rush, they are going to commit to it, so 290 damage, it half Slacks' health, but crucially, Slacks only needs a couple more pokes, and they'll take the advantage right away from Rose if they do, and they absolutely do. And that is rush ready to go in the next point as well.
Yeah, this is going to be a big advantage here. Just Slacks having the rush when Rose is only halfway there. I don't know if Slacks will put it right away, but no.
Nah, not gonna put those away if it worked so well in the previous point. And to be fair, Rose didn't switch up anything either, so they like the double Birchuk combination. And Slacks, like I said, has rush available, and there it goes. But didn't initially get the first hit, but gets the second bite of it, 370 in the end.
Yeah. Obviously, like, curved arms are really good to have on redacted just to get around those pillars, those pesky pillars. But those are two very different curved arms. Oh, and the rush gets snuffed out here from Rose.
Yeah, Slacks managed to get the slap in just at the right time, so Rose did get the initial hit, but the slap made it in time, and that's the beauty of the curved arms. And it just goes to show that Slacks can indeed make the double slaps work. Now, just like Brass, Springman does get a buff in the critical situation, and they'll try and take advantage of that if they can, but knowing full well that if Rose gets another hit here, this could get taken away from them. They are a punch away from going down, and they need to commit to this rush. Both pop it at the same time, but the Birchuks win it!
Yeah, such a close game, honestly. Like, I saw the rush on the same frame from both players.
Yeah, it was the same on my point of view as well. They both pinged that at the same time. They both went for that play, and the Birchuk, unfortunately, just that little quicker straight into Slacks' sight. There's nothing they could do about it. It's one apiece.
Yeah, and now we are on game 3. which is the final game for this match. I corrected. But
yep. So,
yeah. What are we gonna see now?
Go here. So we've seen Arena, we've seen Redacted. We are absolutely off the page in terms of stages, off the stage list. Like the stage list doesn't exist right now. So, and oh boy,
Oh boy!
if this comes out,
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything right now. I'm just not gonna say anything.
yeah, I think you all know in chat what might be happening here.
Yeah, at least those who are acquainted with ARMS.
I can neither confirm nor deny what Flesh Eater has typed in chat. Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, I was gonna say it doesn't get any worse than Redacted. I have seen people do some pretty decent arguments for having Redacted up, but it's like everybody else who immediately sees that are just like, you would never add that in a tournament. I'm just sitting here going, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean, this is the actual Redacted stage we are actually talking about.
Yeah, whereas you would definitely not be able to have that same argument come up for Snake Park because it is a... Oh boy, it is...
Okay, now we're not going there. We safe. Yeah. We're safe.
Oh! Wait, are we?
Oh,
Ninja?
Well, wait. So
I saw Rose say I'd love to go to Ninja, and then Stack goes we can shake it up. So now I don't know. Now I don't know if we're going to sparring or if we're going to Ninja.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask.
It's like, so we do it, goodness, I mean, if we do Ninja College, I'm certainly down for that. We get to see that stage coming out again.
Yeah, it's a real pretty stage too when you think about it.
Again, good track as well.
Yeah, but I really like the whole Japanese aesthetic on this stage.
Sparring College at Ninja Ring. I love it when people start merging titles up. It's great.
Yeah.
And it's like, ah, yes, my favorite stage, Sky Redacted.
Okay, so apparently we are going Ninja College.
Ninja College it is. I like the fact that initially Rose was just like, maybe we should go back to normality. Let's go back to sparring. And then immediately follows up with, actually, I wouldn't mind Ninja, you know? It's like, this is why I love people who are just like, yeah, I could do the stage list, but also this stage isn't on there and I like playing on it, so... And when you throw that in the ring against somebody like Slacks, and Slacks is just like, sure, we could do Ninja. It's like, because you know Slacks is happy with anything.
Yeah, Slacks is just there to do the Slacks thing. Pretty much.
And there we go, and it looks like that is indeed going to be the thing. And yes, my friends, if Ninjara comes out on Ninja College, you fuse those together, and yes, we are now playing Ninjala.
Jokes aside, we all agree that if Ninjara wins on Ninja College, he gets his graduation.
This is true. See, I thought you were combining the two there and going, if Ninjara wins on Ninja College, we have to do a Ninjala tournament.
Yeah. Okay, so not Paramummies, or maybe.
I think it is.
I think it is.
I can absolutely see it, and it absolutely is Paramummy. Did you honestly think he wasn't gonna do that?
Well, at first I didn't see the Paramola on the set for some reason, but yes, it is here.
It's like, I looked at the loadout and went, he's absolutely going to do this. And so far, it is absolutely working. Yeah. Massive big time grab, and Rose already down to half health. Whoa. Slacks is just pinning Ninjara in this corner and finally gets shut down by a crab.
Like, Paramummy is really good pressure when you think about it. You have the big lad with the big arms coming at you.
Yep, and gets a very quick KO. It's like, and again, because because Mummy is a heavyweight character, if the punch isn't charged, Mummy's not gonna care. Which is why that Hydra is so important, that it hits when charged. That's the only thing that will floor a character like Mummy immediately.
Yeah, either a firearm or an electric arm, I would say. Electric is also really good just for the stun.
Absolutely, and the rush is going to come out from Rose. Does get all of it, 320 cents. Mummy back up the stairs and gets a wake-up grab as well. Very good consistency here from Rose, and unfortunately is going to get caught by the Brawlers.
Yeah, just gets split by the Brawlers. Very unfortunate. And now Slacks is back on the pressure. Under pressure. But he also is at a big health disadvantage right now. So obviously, arms when uncharged on Mummy just do half damage, but it's still enough to chip away if you're not careful.
Yep, and that Hydra does get the finishing blow as well. Rose goes into the next point with Rush ready to go. So we'll see how this plays out. Slacks, to be fair, isn't that far behind, and they are committed to the power strategy. And Rose not going to switch up anything, and they have the high ground as well. But, Slacks is just going to just wall these out there. And again, they do move slowly once they open on up, but if they are charged, they are not what you want to be seeing coming towards you. And again, that 1-2 poke forces Ninja down.
Yeah, and just to remind you, both players right now are probably a little bit stressed because it is match point, like, for both players. It's for all the marbles, and we are on Ninja College for all the marbles.
We absolutely are, and Slacks does get another successful rush. Doesn't get the second part of it, but has the health lead, and again, just trying to pin and slow down Ninja as much as possible. Another poke sends Rose down into critical condition as Ninja goes all the way back up the steps. Now has the high ground advantage, but the Hydra, whilst it is coming on through, Slacks is still out damaging them. One more hit is all Slacks needs, and the Brawler does find a way through. And Slacks, after all is said and done, will win it, and of course he wins it in style. He wins it with power, Mummy.
Yeah, this is just the bold Slacks thing to do. Just, go to weird stages, use Para Mummy for game 3. It's all Slacks.
It's what we like to call classic Slacks. And, well, if Slacks wants to add anything to a montage, I guess he can add that one because, yeah, Power Mummy takes it for the win.
And so that means Slacks is going against Slayer Pikmin afterwards in Losers Finals.
And that is going to be match 5.
Yeah, this one is going to be best of 5.
I really should have clarified that one. I shouldn't have said match 5 because now everybody is going to think that, we're going to go the distance.
I mean, to be fair, it was a disaster from the start. Like this tournament, I'm really happy it turned out how it did because it had no reason to turn out how it did. Just with the blunders and everything.
Yeah, it felt like that. Don't kick yourself up too much about it. You'll be fine. So, my friends, I hope you're looking forward to the top 3 that will be coming up. Like I said, Tom is waiting in the grand finals, and whoever they go up against, they already know that they've beaten them already. They beat Slacks 2-0 in the semi-final. They beat Pikmin 3-0 in winners final, so I feel like they'll be content with whoever they get, but I feel like if Slacks makes it to grand final, Tom is probably just going to be like, don't you ever love and dare. We are not going to any stage you pick.
Yeah, like, I think we're going to be much more, like, classic going forward, but I could be wrong.
Hey, the clause is there for a reason. If both players agree to go to whatever stage they want to go to, then that's what we'll do. If at least one of them says, no, then that's how it goes. So that's what it always comes down to. When Slacks goes into any tournament or in any match, it literally comes down to, will Slacks' opponent be flexible with them, or are they going to be like, let's go full on serious? So it's a balancing act. There's a nice line to cross.
Yeah.
But in all fairness, it also makes it that little bit more dramatic because it's like if you go off the stage list, you are really having to put in the time and effort, and if anything, it makes what you do that little bit better because it's like suddenly it's like, yeah, you're able to win these matches on stages that are not the norm for competitive tournaments. If anything, that's even better.
Yeah, that's called versatility and adaptability, which are two qualities that you want to have, especially in fighting games.
There you go. And it looks like, based on what Slayer is saying, it looks like we are going to go to the norm now. So it looks like we are going back to the start stages. And the bans are going to be coming up. But if you're Slacks, and I love the fact that Slacks, thank you very much for pinging in the stream chat. I am serious about having fun. That's a mentality I can always get behind.
But yeah, we are right now waiting on the different bans. So stay tuned for that. But I do think we're going to have a great losers finals, and we're going to have a great grand finals. Just Slacks booing in the Discord. Everything is fine.
It be like that. It just be like that. Whilst they are doing their stage shenanigans, I would like to give a quick shout out to you, actually, for not just putting this together, but for allowing me to come on. It is greatly appreciated.
Well, I would like to thank you too for coming here. Like, obviously, I'm not the best at commentary, and I'm really glad I have someone who is actually more knowledgeable than me at the game to help me commentate the game.
Oh, bless you. I appreciate that. I think I get surprised every time someone turns around and goes, "Oh yeah, you're a professional at what you do," and I'm like, "Am I?" Sometimes I don't feel like I am, and there's people that are just like, "Oh yeah, you got all these stats and whatnot." I'm just like, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's more down to experience, you know. Like, maybe once I get the experience, it's going to be better, but obviously I like a lot of games. That's also why I wanted to do Blame It on the Netcode as it stands with a lot of games. It's because just I like variety. I like showcasing many communities, maybe some that don't get the spotlight very often, like for instance the ARMS community, or even the next time we'll do Samurai Showdown on Switch, which may be restricted to Europe. We'll talk about that later. I'll talk again about that afterwards. But yeah, I'm just glad I have some help in the commentary regard, because I'm just not the best.
But yeah, just like with anything else, just like if you are an actual player in the game, like it takes time to practice how to do commentary. So, give it some time and you'll definitely get the hang of it. You'll start figuring out what kind of things you want to go for. In the meantime, we are coming into the Underground final, and Slacks will be coming in as Min and Slayer comes in with the ribbon on DNA Lab.
Yeah, so I don't know how the matchup goes here, honestly, because like obviously we're gonna have the chakram to work around the pillars, but once the pillars are gone, well, maybe you'll get to change arms to be fair until then, but.
That's generally how it works out with this, and DNA Lab is one of the bigger stages in this game as well. So once those go down, you might still see the curved arms coming up, but a lot of people do often just switch on out into something that can now just get around it without the tubes being there. Slayer is going to try and use their ability to keep Slacks down. Does not want that Hydra to be anywhere near perma-charge, which is always interesting to see Slacks go for that instead of the chakram. And already that Cracker is just so consistent here from Ribbon. Yeah,
and already, like, Paul is on 1 HP right now. He cannot afford to do any mistakes, and he did the mistake.
Yeah, the tube went down, and unfortunately, Min just had nowhere else to go. So Slayer is going to take a very quick early lead. Both will have Rush going in, and Slacks is already thinking about bringing in the nade and will attach it onto the Dragon Arm. Tried to go for the start grab, but didn't quite get it. Slayer just nipping off onto the right hand side, and again, just the usual dance around the tubes, and especially with that slap, they're just trying to get a little bit more purchase, and again, they do so.
Yeah, they do choose to stick on the tube side, which does provide defense, and okay, the Rush gets snuffed out here, which is unfortunate.
Snuffed out and grabbed as well. Didn't quite go through the tube for extra style points, but Slayer does have KO range with this if they can find a way of hitting it. Slacks just darting around the tube. There's only the one left, and the nade does hit at least.
Yeah, at least it's not a perfect. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, Slayer couldn't get all of the rush either, just Min went too far back, but that's okay because it is the Cracker that comes zipping on in once again, and it's going to cause the self-detonation on the nade as well. Slayer Pikmin started off the underground final set in style, 1-0.
So if you're Paul right now, what do you want to do, honestly? With your restricted stage list, what do you want to do?
Well, you want to be able to find a way of keeping Ribbon slowed down. Obviously, you've got the cold abilities to do that. But this is Slacks we're talking about. Slacks will literally just go to any character. Like, literally. Like, Slacks has gone through tournaments where he's gone through different characters every single point. So, it may be the same going forward here as well. But having said that, we know that there are some characters he plays better than others. He does it very well with Misango. That's been one of the characters I've seen him use a lot. He's been putting a lot of time into Coil as well. So, and obviously we know how good he is with Power Mummy. So I feel like he needs to try and find a way of just keeping Ribbon Girl grounded, especially with the fact that Ribbon is a very quick character. A more boxed-in stage should allow them to do that because the big, wide-open stages, Ribbon excels at those kind of things.
Yeah, for that, like, Ribbon is a really good zoner in that sense, just because of all that air mobility. But at the same time, it can be snuffed out really quick in like smaller stages, or just with, like, I don't know, Hydra, for instance. Hydra's really good at catching Ribbon Girl off guard.
Yeah, and you can see that with the bans as well. Slayer has banned Sparring Ring, Buster Beach, and Mausoleum. Two of those, Mausoleum and Sparring Ring, pretty much identical. Obviously, one's a square, one's a circle, but you get the general idea. They just don't want to fight on those kind of stages at all. And the same goes for Buster Beach. You've got those, that hot pockets, as we call them, those wonderful corner buffers on the lower platform of that stage.
I'm interrupting.
It's a Ribbon's worst nightmare to be stuck in.
Paul is asking if there's a stage we haven't seen on stream yet. I think we haven't seen Temple Ground yet.
Yeah,
we haven't.
Yeah,
seen
Temple Grounds. I think Temple Grounds has been the only thing that we haven't seen yet. So,
well, besides the other band stages, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say the other band stages. The other band stages we haven't seen are Spring Stadium. We haven't seen Ramen Ball, Simmer Ducks, Snake Park, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, including Temple Grounds, that's only 5 stages we haven't seen yet. We've almost seen all of the stages in this game. That's actually pretty impressive for a tournament. I don't think I've ever done a tournament where I've seen all stages. So if we can get close to that, that's cool.
Yeah, it's also cool just to see the sheer variety of these stages, because they're all very different locales. But
oh yeah.
In contrast,
and that's what I like about this game as well. It's like not only are they all different, very different locales, they are all centered around. Well, obviously they're all centered around their respective characters that they represent, and it's really cool that they do that. Obviously, you got Helix, who has that wonderful DNA lab setting where it's just like, this is where the Helix are made. And then you've got, Max Bass with Sky Arena, where it's like championship-esque stuff because Brass is the champion. You've got Spring Stadium that literally exudes his personality. He's a springy, bouncy character. This is what he is. Every stage oozes character and personality for their fighter, and it's just great to see that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you look at Smash Brothers legal list, and it's all Smash stages, Yoshi stages, and Animal Crossing stages, and Kirby stages.
Pretty much. We are going to see Slacks switch, just as I thought they might do, but they're also going to bring in Twin Tail, which is one of the characters I wasn't quite expected of. Oh my goodness me, look at the arms.
Yeah, look at the blow of Twin Tail.
We got Blobs, we got Gushers, and we got a Lockjaw. Wow, Slacks, you're going all in with the big guns here, aren't we? So, Gusher is one of the most, they're both very unique arms. Gusher will bounce along instead of just like throwing out normally, which means the grabs themselves also sort of like gravitate to the side as well, because the Gusher is trying to bring it down. The Lockjaw wanted to charge will fire out a mini fireball, and then the rest of the arm will follow on in with the rest of the punch if that happens. So, see how Slacks is able to juggle both of these mechanics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really interesting to see, like, Lockjaw is obviously the only core projectile in the game, if you don't count like laser beams. So it's a very interesting arm to see. The Blorb and the Gusher both bounce on the ground, which make their trajectory a little bit harder to predict, but at the same time they tend to slow down grabs considerably, which make them so much harder to land. And we've got a rush that's not coming out.
Yeah, unfortunately Slacks committed, but again, Ribbon is just that little too quick for them and just breezes bomb past it, and it's not going to allow Slacks to get any kind of charge going either, hitting in and keeps the rush for the second point as well. So the double hot slaps working beautifully for Pikmin, which I guess Slacks can't be too angry about, considering the fact that they are all about going for double slaps, and we are going to see the Blorb come on out.
Yeah, so Blobs has that interesting mechanic when if you land it, your vision will be completely blinded, well, the opponent's vision. And obviously, like right now, it's hard to tell because it's in split screen. But considering each player has his own screen, it can do some weird damage, like in the same way a blooper can in Mario Kart.
It certainly can, and we've got a perfect on the horizon here, and I think we have indeed got a perfect. And it's again, unfortunately, against Slacks.
Yeah, Slacks got perfected thrice in this tournament. That's
three times now. Twice against Tom, and now once against Pikmin. And Pikmin is leading by 2 points to 0, and that was pretty... Well, of course it was one-sided. It was a perfect.
It was a perfect. So, where are we going now that we've actually seen all the legal stages?
Well, we're not going to go ahead and see any of the other banned stages because Slayer Pikmin is having absolutely none of it. They've just gone straight back to banning Spine Buster and Mausoleum, so Slacks will pick from anything that's left over. And at this point, well, I mean, what can Slacks do here? I mean, Twin Tail naturally was not a good call for them at all. Obviously, Twin Tail does have the Actress Aura, that wonderful little slow motion effect that they do, which allows them to have like multiple different outs for specific encounters, where if it's too close, they'll be able to just get the shield up and just go from there. You get the general idea. But in the air, when you activate it, you can try and do counters if you feel like you can get around it, but more often than not, it can be awkward to actually do so, because it doesn't always guarantee that you'll get out of that confrontation unscathed.
Yeah, like it's all really interesting, honestly. And right now the bans are happening. You know, knowing Slacks, he could pull like something weird, like double clap back. You know.
I mean, well, yeah. we've seen the double power baller already on the Master Mummy from Slacks, and we've seen Slayer come out with the double hot slaps, which is a classic of Slacks as well. So I feel like if Slacks is going to do anything, he's probably going to go out memeing. Yeah,
I think so too. Like, he's in the Discord right now saying that he gets to be beaten up again. Like, just it's Slacks.
And via Dulce is going to be the counterpick stage. So, alright, over to Dulce we go.
The funny thing is, when Lollapop came out, it was literally the day I went to Italy for the first, for not the first time, but for my studies.
That's pretty funny, actually. And Slacks is coming in with Mechanica. Oh, I love to see it. Thank you, Slacks. And coming in with Double Dragons and the clapback.
Yeah, that's Slacks, all right.
I'm gonna choke that one down to commentator's curse. Nope, just joking. Gonna go Double Dragon instead, though. So I did tell you he was gonna go out memeing. I'm going to run both the Fire Dragon and the Ice Dragon, which is going to be very interesting, especially against a character like Ribbon. This is going to be... I feel like the Slacks are just giving themselves a massive disadvantage here.
Yeah, I think he's just done at this point. He just wants to end it, but he's not going to go out without a meme.
Like, absolutely. The Scully is just poking on through, and so is the Slap, and Slacks... really seem to care about it. Obviously, Mechanica does have the wonderful jets to just slide them around, which means they can just charge. They can charge up their arms whilst on the move, which is always a nice ability to have. And obviously, they do count as a heavyweight character, but Ribbon is just consistently throwing out the slap and the scully, and both are just constantly going on through here.
Yeah, like obviously, Mechanica is a rather slow character, even with the movement options, and Dragon is also a rather slow arm, so it's rough. It's just rough.
It absolutely is, and with that, they are going to go down and. Well, what are they thinking? Are they going to commit to the double clap? Yes, they are. Here we go then. Double clap against a scully and a slap, and especially when the curved arm will just go straight back towards you. But having said that, 2 shields are better than 1.
Like I told you, he was going to meme with the double clap back or something. Can't say I didn't tell you.
And Slacks just going in with a grab of their own. So Slayer got the grab and Slacks went, alright, then my turn then. And obviously with the clapbacks, it's that little bit extra damage with the grab as well. And here comes another one.
Plus the clapback also has this extra mix-up that it does stop midway, so you can actually choose when to release it and when to use it as a shield, which is a really interesting mechanic that both clapback and Guardian have. And he takes the round too! Oh my god, Slack!
I love the fact that he watched Slayer do the rush and then went, well, I can wall this out with mine, and just committed to it. There was nothing, nothing at all Slayer could have done about it. Slacks have popped themselves right back in this match, and Slayer is not happy with that at all.
Optimal gameplay here. What you're seeing right now is peak ARMS gameplay.
Oh my goodness me. Well, you love to see it happen. Unless you're Slayer, who must be absolutely livid the fact that they've allowed that one to go through. Yeah. Slacks already on the cusp of critical. Slayer is determined to make this through without even having to get to their rush here, but they're going to have it charged up in just a moment, and Slacks unfortunately just can't seem to get close enough anymore. Grab comes out, that sends Mechanica into critical. Rush will surely be deployed or not.
And that's another perfect.
KO, and I think that's a perfect.
Yeah, that's another perfect. Poor Slacks. Oh gosh.
Oh, Slacks managed to get a KO using double clapback. I feel like that alone is worthy of a victory.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not how rules go.
No, no, it is not.
But he won in my heart.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I love the fact that it was just like, oh my god, double clapback. Oh, Mechanica of all players, and it worked. And I think Slayer probably not A, didn't see that coming, but B was just like, I can't believe he's making this work. I am not having this. We have perfected you in the next point. Oh my word. But that was great from start to finish there. And like I said, Slacks goes out with a meme.
Yeah, classic Slacks.
Ah, you love it though. You absolutely love it. People want one thing in ARMS, and it's disgusting, and it's double clap back getting the KO. That's a relatively old meme, but it checks out.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Slayer Pikmin books their ticket into the grand final. It will be a rematch between themselves and Game Master Tom. Remember, Tom is pretty much undefeated here. In their matches so far. They won 2-0 against Slacks earlier, then they won 3-0 against Pikmin in winners final. We'll see if they can do the same thing here in the grands, or if Slayer Pikmin can force a bracket reset.
Yeah, I honestly want to see the bracket reset. Like, I don't want to stop right now. This has been a very entertaining experience.
Well, the only way you're going to be able to have that happen, I feel like, is if we start mixing things up. But I feel like Pikmin is going to have none of it. And yeah, Pikmin immediately goes straight on in with the band. So yeah, we are definitely going to be on regularly scheduled program from here on in. It will be the starter stages of Sparring, Buster, DNA, Temple Grounds, and Mausoleum, with counter picks via Dolls, Rhythm Ring, and Scrapyard being added into the mix after the first point.
So yeah, this is another best of 5, so we'll see how it goes, obviously. Plus, the two players have already fought in in the tournament. I also feel like they fought a lot outside the tournament. So I just think it's going to be very interesting because like best of 5 plus the previous match, it's a lot of time to adapt and learn from your opponent.
Absolutely, and obviously, you know, Tom has just been pretty much just chilling in the chat at this point, so like watching everything go on, and you know, you can only learn so much when you have an unpredictable player like Slacks.
Yeah.
But it looks like it is going to be Ribbon versus Min Min with, I think you've got it on split screen anyway, so it will be Slayer on the left and Tom on the right.
Absolutely. So as we said, Slayer coming from the losers finals, he has to win twice to actually win the tournament, while Tom only has to win once.
Yep, that is correct. And so far, both start off with a pretty much essentially a trade. Tom is going to get the better of the exchanges here, thanks to the chakra being on the Dragon Arm. Just reposition themselves behind every single tube that pretty much comes up. One goes down, they'll immediately just waltz on over to the other one and start the routine fresh. And it's up to Slayer to keep that level as much as possible, and they're doing so.
Yeah, Slayer doing a really good job at just keeping the lead and keeping his distance right now. Like, they're really playing around the pillars, but I also think the pillars aren't going to stay for long at this rate.
Yeah, at the rate it's going, it's probably going to drop. The Dragon isn't hitting as consistently as they would like to. But Tom is bringing this back a little by little. They've got Slayer underneath the halfway mark. The grab is going to miss, and the rush is going to come out from Tom. And is that going to KO? It won't. It puts Slayer on one hit away. And this is going to come down to whether or not Slayer decides to blink with the rush of their own. The grab doesn't hit. They are going to force the rush, but they don't get anything with it. It's just chip damage. And Tom is going to turn that around beautifully.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate. Like, I think in any case Slayer should have kept the rush, but like you can't redo the pass, unfortunately.
No, you can't. Does start off with an immediate punch with the toaster, so there is that. You notice they have popped the cracker away at this point. And Tom quickly on the back foot, just getting that chakram charged up, which is now. And again, just seeing if they can wall out. They keep getting a good lick in with the Dragon every now and then. And the rush is going to come out as well. And Slayer has nothing that they can do about it.
It's just unfortunate. Like right now Slayer's in the back foot. I do not know what he can do right now. But at the same time, I also feel like Ribbon has the tools to get around the Tom's offense. But that chakram, honestly, the chakram just doing so much work. Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem there for Pikmin, unfortunately, is that whilst earlier I was saying that, you know, stages like this, you know, Ribbon is fine for because you could just go around and just jump to a heart's content. But unfortunately, a character like Min Min, especially when you come with the Dragon excels at range, and DNA Lab is a perfect place for the Dragon to just set up. And when you have an arm like the Chakram as the Dragon as well, it allows Min Min to just sort of like sit back and just be like, okay, Ribbon, you can bounce around as long as you want. I will hit you in the end with this. And the rush damage is just, it's always a lot when it comes to the Dragon. So yeah, Tom starts off with a 1-0 lead.
And now, I don't know what stage Slayer wants to go right now. I'd say he wants to actually get closer because Tom was doing an excellent job at zoning out, but he's going to Scrapyard.
Oh.
Interesting.
So we'll see how this one plays. I can kind of see what their reasoning for doing this with, but again, Tom won't mind this as much. They can still utilize the Dragon Arm if they want to from where they are. But again, Ribbon, I feel like if they're going to want to play this properly, they need to get the high ground. They need to try and keep it. Tom already has the Chakram charged up. Slayer was not able to do anything about it. Cancelling out the Chakram with the slap. They're bringing in the Tri-Blast as well to try and at least catch Tom, but so far that Chakram is doing way more damage.
Yeah, like the Chakram is just doing so much for Tom in this match. Like just look at the pressure he's applying. It's a little bit ridiculous. It clips. It's so big it clips just every time.
It absolutely does. And Slayer already down to the halfway mark. Does manage to get the knock on Tom, who is going to come out with the rush from a high spot. Doesn't get the laser, gets some of the chakram, but it's only 70. But crucially, it does keep Slayer underneath the halfway mark.
Yeah, but at the same time, the rush did put him in an advantageous position, though it quickly reverted, obviously, like the Ribbon Girl having so much mobility. But it's still very interesting to have this rush, this small rush, which puts your opponent in the corner.
Absolutely, and Slayer is going to find themselves in critical. Tom just nipping underneath half now as well. Was not able to get the arm up. Slayer is able to keep this at bay for the most part, but I think it just got up in the nick of time. But again, the Tri-Blast is going to cancel that out. And with 15 seconds left on the clock, Slayer as the health lead here. Now, will either of them bite with the rush here? Oh, the Chakram comes up with the 1-2, so Tom retakes the lead. 5 seconds left on the clock. Will either of them make a play? Slayer goes for the rush, and they will get the KO!
Last second KO too. Like, this was really clutch from him. But it's like, it's slightly clipped on the Tri-Blast, and that was enough.
Just enough, and you like to see it play through like that. Tom will keep their rush going in to this next round, so we'll see if they can get themselves into a better position than they did last time round. They weren't really able to get anything with the rush on the previous attempt. Chakram again just stuns Ribbon. Again, I don't think was quite expected, but then again, they are quite a fair bit away. Nice little trade exchange from the two, and here comes the jump, but again, nothing on the rush for Tom.
Well, he does get 70 damage, but right now the position isn't as advantageous as in the previous round. Like, Slayer does have the rush lead right now, but he's also on the health not the back foot, but like he's just on a health deficit. So, but it's pretty close. We're gonna see how it works out. And the rush comes out and it lands.
Yep,
that's
lands
clean.
just in
270.
Yep, lands just in the nick of time. I thought Tom might have been able to beat them to it, but not to be on this occasion. 40 seconds left on the clock. Tom is pretty much a hit away from going down here against Slayer. Just about missing the 1-2 hit. They've almost got rushed up to speed here, and the Dragon isn't going to hit. Somehow, the Chakram managed to find a way through, and Tom's going to commit to it and lands the rush!
And that's how we go to round 3.
Yeah. Third time's the charm for the rush for Tom in this match. They finally do land it. Slayer obviously has more of the rush charge, and Tom has enough time to get the Chakram charge back up to its perma state. And Slayer's going to try and need to use everything in their power to keep Tom from gaining any kind of advantage, because they already have a health lead built up.
Like, as we said, the Chakram is just so much pressure. But dude, it's hard to say, honestly. Like, I just think the stab can do a lot in this position, but as we can see, like, Slayer just doesn't get the chance to land anything right now.
They seriously don't. They are going to go for the rush, but again, Tom just gets around it anyway and keeps the Dragon Arm up as well. The stun into the Dragon combo. It's all that Tom needs, and having lost that initial point earlier on in, they do manage to turn it around. And Tom leads by 2-0.
Which means we are going into match point. So this might be the last game of the tournament.
It may very well be. Well, I mean, yeah, if Tom wins this match up here and now, it will be game, set, and championship for Tom. So Pikmin has it all to do. A reverse sweep is needed.
Yeah, he's got a lot to do. Like, right now he's got to go the reverse 3-0, and then he has another best of 5 to win if he wants to win the tournament. It's a lot of stamina. I've seen some people do it, but it's really hard to do.
Absolutely, and the bans are going to remain the same from Tom, so we'll see if Pikmin decides to pick a different stage. Remember, the bans from the previous one were Sparring Ring, Viadolls, and Buster Beach. So, like the fact that Tom banned both of the Hot Pockets, does not want to go in there. We are going to go back to Scrapyard.
Yeah, we're getting the run back straight on Scrapyard. No character changes from any side.
I don't think we'll see arm changes either.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think we'll see them. There is the nade in the back pocket for Ribbon, but I feel like it's not needed right now.
Yeah, and
Oh, no.
Oh, it
As
is
soon as I
going to
said
come
that,
out, though.
Slayer's going to bring it out.
I mean, you can be cheeky with the nade explosion, like here. Like it just clips sometimes with the explosion hitbox, and it can be very surprising. But then again, I don't know if the stage can make use of it very efficiently.
Yeah, as long as the hit is detected, it will do the detonation, so it just comes down to placement more than anything. But Tom already has a pretty decent lead, Slayer on the cusp of going under 50%, and now finally does so. And Tom already has rush available.
The rush builds so quick, like right now the rushes are building so quick. Even Slayer is pretty decent on his rush meter right now. He's just landing less punches, so obviously it's going to take a little bit longer, and yeah, the rush didn't land, and now Tom has a massive advantage right now.
Yep, and Slayer couldn't even take advantage of the fact that Tom lost an arm in the process there. Just arm went down, but Slayer was just too far away to properly capitalize, so 35 seconds on the clock. Tom has a massive health lead. One more hit from anything will pretty much do it, and that pretty much means that Tom will take the rush into the next point if they can, but well, if Slayer keeps landing these nade hits, they may try and force the rush out of Tom.
Yeah, 17 seconds though isn't a lot of time. I'm not sure, like if Slayer is going to win, he needs a miracle right now to actually get back to the level of health.
Tom is in KO range. If the rush does hit, and unfortunately it doesn't. Tom baited it out, just gets the shield up. However, the grab is going to land, but it's not enough to tip it over.
Unfortunate, but yeah, Tom played the time and he played well.
Yeah, and with that, he takes the advantage into what is championship point for Tom. And the fact that they start with the rush and they'll commit to it early on, and that is massive damage to suffer. 390 from the start. And Slayer has a mountain to climb.
It's going to be very hard for sure. Like, if I'm Slayer right now, I must be extremely focused and yet extremely stressed at the same time. I do not know how to react right now. It's just happening.
It absolutely is. Both of the pillars are down, so Slayer trying to get some form of advantage, but they're already into critical, and that's KO range for Tom. Right now, they have the rush as well, and Slayer knows that this is going to be that intimidation coming into play. The rush is going to come out, but Slayer will protect themselves. Arm weak on the left-hand side, but again, if Tom can just take it down, they'll take advantage. The rush doesn't come out for Slayer either. It's going to be chip damage and nothing more than that. And with such a massive health lead, Tom knows that it's just a matter of time before they get a hit to come in. The Dragon gets a nice little lick in. One more hit from anything will seal the championship for Tom. Arm weak on the left-hand side. It's down. It's over.
That was just not enough time anyways to actually come back here. Tom had a very much an enormous health lead, and the only thing which could have brought it down was rush, and he didn't have it on deck.
And with that, Tom is going to be your winner of this wonderful double elimination tournament. Blame it on the netcode. I feel like, well, everybody who lost will definitely blame it on that, but at the end of the day, the successful netcode goes to Tom.
I'll clap, honestly, I'll clap. I don't know if it can be heard on stream, but I'll clap.
It probably can. If it's against the microphone, it'll likely be heard on stream.
Yeah, and I think that was a successful experiment, don't you think?
I'd say it was good fun.
Yeah, a little bit finicky at the beginning, but we made it work.
We made it absolutely work. We've seen a nice variety of stages. We've seen all of the stages on the starters and the counter picks, which included Living Thing, which is nice. And we've seen stages from ones that weren't on the list, like Sky Arena and Name Redacted and Ninja College. Those were good fun for a variety of matches. Heck, we saw Name Redacted twice.
Yeah, we saw Name Redacted twice, which is something you cannot say of many other tournaments.
No, to be fair, we saw it twice because that match specifically was... I can't believe we only had one match that had to be replayed, and it had to be redacted. I feel like that makes it that little bit funnier, just on the basis of how did you play Redacted twice? Surely that Who convinced someone to do that again? Oh, we had to replay it. Who convinced that person to reply redacted? And to be fair, we got to see Power Mummy on college, and it worked. Heck, we saw Mechanica Clapback work, even if it was for 1 point.
We saw Mechanica Clapback take a round.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it means that your official standards for Blame It on the Netcode will be Game Master Tom taking the victory. In second place, it will be Slayer Pikmin. In third place is going to be Slacks, registered as For Fox's Sake. In fourth place will be Rose Power, and rounding out our players will be in fifth, and that is Ratch Eve.
So yeah, I would like to thank everyone for taking part in this tournament. I would like to thank the chat for supporting me this whole time. And I think we're going to continue with the shoutouts when I'm at it. I want to thank you again for coming. I want to thank Junior for taking care of the mod duties in the Discord. Obviously there weren't that many issues, but thanks to him for actually taking the role. And in terms of what we're going to do next, I think the next one I want to do is Samurai Showdown on Switch. So this one will be region locked to Europe, but I'll try to see if I can find someone who can also run it in America, so that there's something for everyone.
Ooh.
And then in terms of what we're going to do as well, if Rivals of Evil Definitive Edition comes out on time in Europe, I'm probably going to run a quick bracket, but we'll know that on Thursday for Thursday, so follow the Wolf TV official Twitter for that, in case that happens. That would be a Rivals of Evil on Switch, first tournament in Europe ever, maybe, I don't know how it's going to work yet. All depends on whether it actually comes out on Thursday in Europe. And in terms of future plans, more long-term future plans, I am open to running a lot of games, but my idea is once again to highlight maybe some either lesser known communities or do some more wacky tournaments. Let's say, for instance, Davis Cup for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That's an idea. Or we can do 3v3 Dragon Ball Fighters, or we can just play Killer Instinct. Like, Killer Instinct is a good game and I have it, so we can play it. And again, there's a lot we can do. If you are a tournament organizer or anyone who's remotely interested in tournament organizing, we can see, so you can organize the tournament under the Blame It on the Netcode banner eventually. There's just a lot we can do, and feel free to actually go either in the Discord or on the Twitter, at me on Twitter, if you have any ideas of what you want to do, what you want to see from Blame It on the Netcode. I will look at all these ideas and I will get back to you and eventually organize something.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Can we fight on Snake Park?
Oh, sure. Let's do that real quick.
Hey, Slacks! I know you wanted to see Snake Park, so we're gonna do it for you, and I'm gonna lose.
Yeah, just let me change my character real quick.
That's fine.
There we go. Like, if we're doing Snake Park, there's only one thing I can do on Snake Park.
Oh no, oh no, I forgot that loadout, no!
Yeah, this is absolutely the loadout. The loadout.
Oh no, I'm not gonna like this at all.
I mean, it's Snake Park.
It is. Gosh. Can't... I keep forgetting that you're mummy. Nah! Aha! You get down. You get absolutely down there. No. Tried to commit. I'm actually surprised that... Ow! No, no.
Ah,
oh, no. I was pleasantly surprised you didn't go for the rush. No.
Ah, crap.
Oh! I hate the Beyblade shield!
Oh crap! I hit the Beyblade as well!
Yeah! We both whiffed out rushes because of the Beyblade!
This is perfect!
Oh my gosh! I will take it. I guess I'll take it.
I'm gonna switch it up.
I am also gonna switch it up. Oh, great, Guardian. Did you go away? I should have kept the bolts. This is why I kept the bolts. I'm still not good with the actual gloves yet. Ah, Guardian, go away. Guardian. It's like I have to go up against the... Oh, well, I got the shot, but I couldn't punish. Now! Now! Oh, God. Ah.
This is so hard.
Ah! Please keep hitting on the right. Fine. Alright, if I can keep you off the Beyblade. No, no. Stay off the Beyblade. I said stay. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Well, you're back on now. Ah, no!
Get away!
I'm on the Beyblade! Oh, what a save. Okay.
Yeah, what a save.
Oh, that didn't quite hit. No, 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 no! Oh my God.
This is so hard.
It is. It's very difficult. Gosh, I'm always so concerned about the Guardian. It's so scary. Yeah!
Yeah!
I win an exhibition now!
GG's!
Yeah! Oh God! I always lose these. I've lost it against Slacks. I've lost it against Believe, against Riffer, against so many. Oh.
I still have a lot to learn.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh. I hate that. I both hate and love the fact that we both whiffed our respective rushes because of the Beyblade. I missed mine because it was moving. You missed yours because you hit it.
Yeah, it's just how Snake Park works, you know?
Yeah, that is Snake Park in a nutshell.
It's a completely different game.
Oh. It's time to Beyblade. Oh my gosh. Alright, and with that, I think we're now done.
Yeah, I think we're done for today. Thank you everyone for watching. I think I'm gonna roll the intro once again, and it's going to be I'm going to wish you a nice evening or a nice morning, wherever you are. Just have a nice day, everyone.
Yeah.
And thanks again for watching.
Yourselves.
Take care, bye!
Bye!
Oh man, are you ready for this?
You can feel the calm before the storm as the round begins.
This is gonna be a match to remember. This battle is about to explode.